using cloud storage and other external storage services. So they need them exposed and find critical banking information. There are organizations who have formed some of the backups of the whole core database for microfinance and the fintech sector. So it's a critical challenge that there's a lot of fast-moving technology within the sector, but there's very little regard in terms of cybersecurity that we notice, and it's going to become a situation. We believe that there are few organizations that are going to use money, which is equivalent to their level of bankrupt. So it has happened already in other sectors we've noticed, because cybersecurity has become a business issue, a business risk, a business existential threat. It's no longer a height challenge, so it's something that has to be protected. So as I said before, when we build trades, customers and define them from our monitoring capabilities, we notice that they are a result of most of the big compromising systems. So on average, every microfinance organization out of the 14 has roughly 45 systems that are compromised at least within the period of the year that we monitored and which of this report to be. So we find that the highest compromise within the year has the total 393 systems that are being compromised, and the lowest is at least one system within the year. So at least every organization has one compromise in the year. So that's how these things happen. So the compromise that we are talking about is you find people who are trying to download pirated software, because some of the screenshots we notice come in someone is trying to download pirated software. They are trying to disable the security system. They want to watch a certain movie, so they go to the torrents. Why do that? The highest tool we are noticing nowadays is the people want to download overcreated videos. So they go to these internet sites which have a lot of pop-ups. So one ends up clicking on a pop-up, then the install accidentally install what are called info-stealing malware. So info-stealing malware, as the name says, it will steal critical information in terms of credentials. So it will collect your browsing cookies and all your cloud sessions and which are stored in the cookies. It will collect your internet. You collect usernames, you collect passwords. So you find that the highest organization, some of the ones that noticed, you see there are like 3 or 4 more than 20 compromises in there. So it's a high number for the size of the employees in terms of microfinances. So it's a huge risk, but also this also now brings back the challenges in terms of endpoint security and management, because you find that some of these systems, as we've noticed there, they don't even have endpoint security like antivirus, and that's why they get compromised. Due to that, we also see that due to this high number, there's lack of, because most of these are repeated compromises. You find that an organization is compromised in January, then February, another user is compromised, then in March. So you find that the organization is going to keep fighting symptoms and they don't have any exposure in everybody security. And then these get consequences very likely, because if you have these repeated challenges, you fail to understand the pattern of why the compromises are happening constantly. So there's a very huge challenge in the sector in terms of.
Can we take over this one? Yeah? No, I think. I want to take over this one and give it back to him so you can go on to another OBS selection. You also do it for another one and I bring back your iPad. The only problem with the iPad was it was being booked. I can't take it to zero.
So I was saying some of these
Maybe this one, it's okay then. No, we can use yours if it's okay.
So you find that the system that is even compromised for someone using and they have access to their banking, so all of these credentials are collected. And it is the great actor going to get access to your core bank. And then the organization will necessarily.
Yeah. I'm doing like different instances. So I have YouTube up and running. I want to have LinkedIn running. LinkedIn chopped off because I was running YouTube. So I want to do it on the other one. That will be able to do it.
And in marriage, higher because sometimes media celebrates to combine. So, for example, if I find the API an API organization, which by the data started area that if I keep adding it to operationalize it and create after then I return. So there are so many high findings as well as which is, and you see they are also critical. So as long as you have critical high findings, basically I think that should have been set up long time before some people but the fact that most organizations do not carry out security assessments, they don't have that evidence. That's why we talk about the secretariat, the association. We make sure that at least these guidelines, not even just guidelines, they become mandatory things to do. When you look at other, for example, Bank of Uganda is now telling financial institutions they need to have certificates, they need to do continuous assessments. You no longer need to do an assessment once a year. You see, you have security at hand. When the people who are trying to do the two systems are doing it every single day, you can't do it once a year. You're going to have a lot of blind spots and lack of visibility through operations. So these things become there. There's a trade towards continuous exposure to money. Something I should, this is the second look at.
We can't do OBS for that. And it's echoing, we can't go on the
See how exposed they are on even like the weekly basis or monthly basis, depending on how you find that in terms of how they can work with them. So it's very high that you can mostly solve these issues if you see them and you can work on them. But if you are blind to them, take a whole year to look at your vulnerabilities and exposure, then you can at least say that you have an command security with the organization and the sector at large. So the areas of concern that we noticed is that, as we talked about, we rated this out of 10. So out of the highest the number, the more critical the field is. So the compromise assessment and this first box is a big challenge for the sector. There are so many systems belonging to the different organizations that are compromised. And this is repeated. You notice things that happen in January, you see the same things happen in February. So after 12 months, you see the same things reoccurring. So that means there's a lot of gaps within incident response and things like the procedures, the regulations also are not working because some of these people are not reporting these issues. If they report and there's information sharing, we find that we might find a root solution to why the compromises are happening. But they are not sharing this information. And it's not that they do not want to, of course, most of them do not want to share because of trust issues and sensitivity. But then you're being taken apart one by one by the great actors. Because if I compromise institution A using the same tactics and techniques, then I go and compromise institution B using the same tactics. If this information had been shared earlier, that great actor and the tactics we have ceased to have naturally, because most organizations would have been aware of the problem and they would have put measures in place to stop that. So there is lack of information sharing, which that information should come from incident response and whereas compromise systems. But then organizations, one, do not share, and two, they do not know that they have been compromised. We are in a position, we are doing that, and we are trying to change the leadership of the way we approach security. So we are producing these reports at a given threshold with our partners, HLB, so that the critical sectors and the leaders, the association, for example, the microfinance, the association itself, if they produce these reports per week, per month, you find that there will be more awareness of what is happening and how what threats are being affecting, which threats are affecting the sector at large. Then the banks and the institutions under can work effectively to make sure that these things are worked on, these exposures are closed, as well as putting root cause measures in place. Then, as we talked about, exposure management is a big challenge that most organizations do not know their exposure. They do not know that there are compromised credentials are lying around, because there are so many credentials that belong to the organization that you find that people use different credentials. So having access to one even one password can have access to so many things. You've seen a weak password, you've used password to find that the user has one password for like seven applications, which is a big challenge in terms of managing identity and access. Then you find that these vulnerabilities, since most organizations have never even done security assessment, they do not even know what vulnerabilities and exposure they have. So the more, every time you implement applications, you increase your attack surface, and which is actually happening. That most organizations in the sector are rapidly deploying technology. They are reading about different applications and they are adding them to their inventory. And most of them do not even keep track of them. So every time that you add an application during the day, you are increasing your exposure, you are increasing your attack surface. So most of these organizations do not have capabilities to remove this exposure. So it's a big challenge. Then configuration management is that configuration is how you configure systems, how secure you configure them in the first place before you even put them up to expose them. So as we discuss, most 8 out of 14 organizations mostly rely on third party, which means the don't manage their systems are not directly seated with their policies, and they are not their own either data centers or their own control servers. These are either cloud external systems that you have people who manage them. They are responsible for your security, they are responsible for your data security, to make sure that data is stored at the way, their backups and all of that. So you find that some of these do not pay attention to secure configuration management. They expose certain systems that are supposed to be testing systems or shadow IT. They have remote access that is exposed, that's given the credentials. But we find any place, we find individual applications that are being already exposed that we provide access within organizations. So configuration management becomes an issue, and this is something that the association should define clear, strict guidelines that should be applied to them in that way that configuration management and remote access are critically managed and they should be taken as such. So since the association doesn't have that clear mandate of how organizations within the sector should carry on to do configuration of their systems, it is now everyone is on their own and they rely on their own expertise. And in security, you are as secure as your configuration management capability. So if you are not securely configuring and managing your systems, then security issues are going to show up one way or another. Then identity access and management is a critical factor that we talked about to find that There are very few organizations. Out of the 14, you find that there are 4 who have what's called multi-factor authentication in terms of their external facing systems. The rest rely on either what the third party provides, and it's a challenge. Nowadays, with all these credentials that we've talked about, if only what you rely on is a username and password, then there are going to be security risks that are impactful, very impactful. So nowadays, that's why you see most secure providers in terms of these services are mandatory using multi-factor authentication. Because if I have the username and password, I can easily verify. There is another factor that is enforced by default that you should have in most systems that the organization are using. Then it should make identity and access more easier. So we find that the biggest challenge is that there is no multi-factor authentication, even modern authentication. Things like single sign-on. You find that the user has 7, 8 credentials of the system that they need to work with. So that means that we are going to be forced to use one password to access this. But with things like single sign-on and multi-factor authentication, you can have one credential that can allow you to access like 7 applications at once. So when systems are being designed and when these organizations are evaluating what products and applications they need to bring on board, they should look at the identity part critically, because if you allow them to store much of the credentials that are being compromised and left around, because they will use the value of the users, make it design data systems that make sure that the identity is protected. Then the last two sections is the face assessment. From what we've seen, we find that there are no organizations that have done the face assessments. They have not looked at how our defense system, because buying these firewalls and endpoint products and other security products is one thing, but making sure that they are effective at what they are doing is another. It's like having a guard you have at 4 hours to take care of the gate and open and close, but you find that even if it's there, it just opens for everyone at once. So the effectiveness and the utilitiness of the guard is reduced. So you notice that even the systems that were compromised that have the endpoints, they are either out of date, they are not assessed how well they do perform their job. So that's what the cyber defense assessment is all about. So when we put them, we usually test the defenses to see how they react and how effective are they in catching such threats. Then the last part is also, we call them security assessments, but someone at the beginning call them penetration testing. So we don't call it a security assessment because we do a thorough organization approach. Penetration testing usually focuses on the technical aspects of the system. So it assumes that you are testing if the system can be penetrated or it can be bypassed and broken. But we realize that the dynamics of security is taken at a faster pace. So you find that even if you have these unpenetratable systems, you have other vectors that you allow you to bypass all that investment into those systems. So we usually do a full security assessment that goes and tests the people, the processes that use to manage these systems and the technology itself. So those are the areas that we notice of concern. So now we internally have been notified that there is a whole other technical report that has been detailed findings, but it's quite sensitive that we will be there with the association, HLB and Summit, to see how they are paying this questions on certain points. But to give you a hint into the findings that are there, as you see, one of the critical exposures is user credentials, employees, the corporate accounts, and then you have customer accounts. So that is the biggest thing. You find that an organization has, you find that the organization has almost 1,000 customers and consumer accounts which are being compromised. It's a critical challenge that has to be taken at high risk. Then you find that there are quite a number of corporate accounts that lead to internal applications. For example, email, identification, and other things are compromised here. So it's a critical area of compromise. So, as you can see, this is the association itself. We did this because, so you see, the three here, what we call the stealers, is that there are three systems that have already been compromised that are either associated with the Association of Microfinance Institutions of Uganda. And you see the applications that are affected, PMT, then trading, and then those are the two. And you see the date is, this is September 2024. So you find that even you see the password spread is medium. You blur out the users so that they are not affected by the machines, as well as the output. That you see that we are constantly looking out for these systems that are being compromised. So this is what an employee compromise looks like. So you find that someone needs this from a system that is already compromised, and it leads to the compromise of these credentials. So to summarize some of the technical other findings, if you see now, for example, the organization itself, the association, has 16 compromised credentials that are already due to compromise of the external system that the users are registered to. Then you see that you have, for example, gold mining has 6 compromised users who are mostly employees. You have the sector which has almost 100, and you have private microfinance which has a lot of systems and users compromised. So it brings about a challenge that these organizations, this is a thing to just trying to summarize, to put more context into what we talk about when we set the goals of compromise. So we find that the other technical report goes into how and which systems are compromised, and then it can be used to do further incident response as well as investigations into where these compromises are happening. So we find that this is one of the organizations we sent it out, but the most recent exposure is 24 days ago, and you see there is a total of 1,000 compromised credentials plus, which shows that 81% is password reuse. So you find that the biggest challenge now is that if I have the password of all of this information, I have the high chance that I'm going to use it somewhere else within the organization. So you find that it's high vulnerability of exposure. So this is something that is critical.
It seems as if like every time that I try to hit those accounts, it's fighting me. So I'm not fighting it anymore. As long as YouTube is still, the rest I can upload the video after. I'm not going to bother with it anymore. I may even try to do something and then I mess up what I already have.
8 characters. Now the industry standard is 4 characters minimum. You should have 12 character passwords, and then even to worry much about passwords. So passphrase is something that you know. For example, I go to one passphrase, a passphrase. It's very long, but you can utilize it as a password. It is more effective because you can remember it easily. And we rarely see that we have a question. So that's the depth we met. As I said, we are not depth. There is a more deeper technical report that can be shared further after dialogue between the partners at large at a higher level. But going forward, this is what we recommend at a high level without going into other technical details. Closing unnecessary remote access is very critical. We've noticed that there are exposed remote access systems, remote access control systems of different capabilities that are exposed. And because you see there are so many credentials of these organizations, the compromise just happens as easy as finding these credentials and logging in. And that leads to compromise of an organization. Then patching systems is a critical factor. Patching also improves security configuring these systems. You have systems that are internet-facing and they are not updated, they are not securely configured. It's a big challenge. And we would like to advise you to highly make sure that these systems are patched. The reason we do is that we keep monitoring this. Weekly, we have our methodology is that we collect data every other month. We inform us of the changes in different sectors. So we do it from ISP level because your ISP is providing internet. They are the ones who give you the IP addresses. So we monitor those and then we monitor the dark web to find the information standard-based organizations. Their credentials, their compromised systems, you find that they are people who the compromised systems are configured. So patch the systems because we notice the software installed in these systems is not patched. Some of them have operating systems that have not been patched for a given period of time. So it's a very difficult challenge. Then we talk about multi-factor authentication and passwords. As you notice, the passwords are weak. The passwords are not enough. We need to have multi-factor authentication. Then we talked about single sign-on. Single sign-on will help you reduce the burden of passwords because the user will have one password that is required to access other systems. But you find the user has 8 applications to log into every day, and they are forced to use one single password. So when that password is compromised, the same convenience the user has, the same convenience that the attacker is going to have in terms of compromising those systems. Then you can rely on us to monitor the dark web to stay ahead of such threats, or you can find services that monitor and allow you to monitor the dark web to stay ahead of when are you compromised, how are you being compromised, and how do you use the response and forensics from there, and then how do you make sure that you mitigate such and reports. So thanks for that. I think we can go now to the Q&A section of following the discussion.
Thank you very much for this very enlightening talk. But maybe what I would request you, is it possible for you to go to the Q&A and pick up any comments or questions that you can deal with straight away before we ask the audience to indicate that they want to speak, and then we allow them to speak.
Okay, so let me actually do that.
At least to check if all the expectations have been met.
Okay, sir. Let me do that. Now,
Thank you.
so I'm not seeing questions. I don't know if my chat area is the one that doesn't have.
Oh,
So
Yes, check Q&A as well.
supply has is very critical. Even I'm not in the whole sector because most organizations in this country we are building the human capital to build software at a slow pace, if any actually. So even the human capital and to manage the systems is not as there is a shortage of IT capability and talent in the country. So what we are forced to do is to rely on external already established capabilities. For example, most of you notice that you go to Kenya, Nairobi for software development. So we have organizations that you find that one organization is creating software for like 7 organizations. So compromising the one common organization needs to have to 7 Ugandan microfinance because they use the same infrastructure, they use the same backend. So the authority has to make sure that they mandate this. Cybersecurity, for example, to show you how critical this is. In the US, there is a whole presidential directive that dictates how supply chain and third-party security is supposed to be handled within government institutions because they know they are being compromised and it is very, very hard to detect that your third party has been compromised because even if you want to notice, they are not doing they hardly accept this compromise, and they will not give you a full after impact assessment report of what happened and how they are going to mitigate it. And then in the meantime, you would have lost your already and certified it. So it's a very, very critical area that has to be taken seriously, because you have almost 75% of the sector players in microfinance, even bank and life, they are relying on parties. The third parties include the software, including the ones that provide software, they can be the cloud services of third parties, all of these are third parties. So compromising one needs to be having a bridge which we can have the local joints that we see. So in most cases also remote access, someone talks about remote access like any place. It is becoming a very critical area that most compromises are happening, because nowadays what happens is that even the trade actors, they recruit insiders, and then they give them machines that have remote access. Or even users just giving away remote access through this application. So because most of these applications, most of the organizations that we talked about, they do not have endpoint security. Endpoint security includes antivirus, endpoint detection and response, which includes application allow listing, application listing, where you only allow applications that are supposed to run. So, for example, there's a brief response tool that's included. There is any case installed on a system that should not be having any case at all. So if they had application like this in place, they would have got subject to that. So it's very critical to have this endpoint protection. Yes, there is a whole suite of them that any organization can use according to how it affects them and operations. So it's a critical area. So remote access and then supply chain and third parties are very critical that you need to do, because even these third parties end up having remote access environment. So what they are compromised, the threat actors pivot from their environment to whatever systems are internal to you, because you already trust them and you give them access to your environment. So that's what happens. So we talked about someone here, Paul, mentioned the manufacturing of flash memory which stores many passkeys instead of using passwords on 4 or 5 sites. So this is where single sign-on comes in. The cost of manufacturing might be a step higher for the industry, because there are a lot of players. There is what we call UBPs, but then there are other technologies. There's not called single sign-on that is being used in most modern authentication systems. So you only have one credential which is protected by multi-factor authentication that you can integrate any other applications within. So for example, a core banking, your other system. So when that person tries to access it, they don't have the right single sign-on token, they cannot access. So single sign-on is helping out of these issues, because it is critical. As we've noticed from our technical data, we find that one user has access to like 10 systems, and they end up using passwords to begin. So compromising that one of the passwords means you have access to 10 systems. So the presentation will be provided. That is the address. The presentation will be provided for you. So thanks, Ivan. We are glad that your expectation has been responded to. So we really talks about implementing control threats. Yes, internally, most of you, the organizations, you have critical issues in terms of Active Directory. There are many issues and signals that are bound to affect the printing capability within Active Directory environments. We literally do assessments where we work with you, and then once you connect to the network, within the first 10 to 20 minutes, they already have the non-admin access because of these issues. And these come from configuration management, secure configuration. and harden the systems. So I'm not going to go deep into the technical details because I think the audience might not like much the technical details, but I'm glad we can pass by. We are making gender conflicts. We can come and have a discussion, have a lab, we can go through most of these things and we can have actual sessions. We are planning to have sessions where organizations like the microfinances can come over in the weekend. They can bring their IT team, IT people, all interested parties. And then you can have a 1 or 2 hour session where we talk about technical configurations, securing systems, and what is it. And we plan on making them free access to network and make a more private environment. So we can have that discussion at a deeper level. But yes, the domain controllers, we find that there is a lot of issues in terms of active directory security, and internally it looks up to almost it is the mother of all challenges. Because active directory and the domain controllers is a very detailed topic that fits into identity. So it's an identity and access management challenge that is very much a bigger challenge. So we find that the permissions are assigned that we find that there are so many accounts that have various permissions. We find there's a lot of password rules. The same password we find externally when we go internally to organizations. We find that there are even already domain admin, there are regular users. So it becomes a huge challenge. So these critical issues are just system hardening because some of these are left on by default with Microsoft. So Microsoft also bears the burden that they are big organizations. The big organizations, they are hardly anything. For us, the legal strategy is trying to force them to make things which are secure by default, but it is it can be. So, FEMA, if I say the name right, likes to know about the roles of different teams in cybersecurity, like red team, blue team, purple team, for the security of our digital assets. So, to answer you, the blue team, I'm going to start with the blue team. The blue team is responsible for defending your environment. Those are your IT administrators who do the defending and configuring your firewalls, configuring your data access, and the roles and permissions in Active Directory. That is the blue team. They are responsible for 2 things: configuring systems securely, and 2, monitoring these systems and responding to whatever monitoring experts see that are proper. Then the red team is the guys who want to create the environment. These are the great actors. For example, people get usernames and passwords and we try them on every other system. Those are the bad guys. The red team are the guys who are simulated as the bad guys. Now the purple team is a combination of two. You get red and blue and you mix them with great purple. So usually it is a functional engagement. You usually do purple team assessments. So we play the red team and red team plays the blue team. So we try as much to break in. And once we break in, we go and sit with the blue team and tell them we were able to access system X. Did you not detect this? Did you patch this kind of technique? Did you patch this attack? So that combination of red and blue team is what is called purple team. So the purple team is meant to make sure to enforce your requests. It is a very controlled engagement. So it's akin to an advanced pen test, if I could say that. So usually we test the security. Once we break it, we come to meet your blue team. There's actually usually one where we go the old seat. So when we achieve a certain level of access, we ask them if they are able to detect. If they are not able to detect, we sit down together and then we see why they did not detect, and then they implement the defense for that. So the purple team is the continuous assessment of your security, and it is the defense assessment here. You see here on the slide that I talked about. The cyber defense assessment is what's called the purple team in the So we use that because the red team falls within the security assessment. So we have that capability.
Yes. Yeah, perfect.
So the
Yes,
contacts are going to be shared in detail. They will be here.
Okay.
This is Summit.
What
There is, I think, also for HLB, they are going to be there as well.
the
The
what?
website and
Which
everything will be shared as well.
what USDT Bitcoin?
So Jamila says I
Is
highlight
that
the difference
from
between
or
cybersecurity and information security. So cybersecurity encompasses everything.
First
From
ask them
cyber
security and make sure that they account for
technology,
gas mileage. Those are the fees to send the money
so
because
cyber means anything that uses technology.
let me say
So cyber means technology. So cybersecurity means security for cyber or network connected systems. Now information security is specifically targeted information. So data security falls within information security. So your information systems, your communication system, that's information security. Everything that you use to manage information. Information comes from data as well as human interaction. So that's why information security is. So the difference is that information security is a subsection within cyber security. So cyber security is the whole encompassing from technology, every other technology, from your core banking to your phone, to your routers, to your monitoring devices and smart devices that you have. That's all cyber security. But information security is the information that goes through these systems. So any information like the network communications, the data that is generated, and all of that is what's the small specific that's information security. I hope it answers your question. So yes, for this we see the what the email, the same presentation. Then
which this presentation?
actually five.
Which one?
As well. So
Or they can download the chat.
the other question that
Doesn't it come out with
the Hello, yes, doctor.
Yes, sorry. Sorry, I missed you a bit. What was your last request?
So we can now move to any other more questions from participants.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for covering all those other comments that have come in. Just to assure members, so long as you registered, and I know you registered using your emails, the presentation will be shared to all your emails. We'll also share the recording because this session is being recorded. It is also available on our various social media, including YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. So it's live, so it's already there anyway. But we'll share the link through the emails that you've used for registering. So thank you so much. So can we hear if there are any? I'm just looking around now. If there are any questions still in the chat, you can also put your hand up. Then I can enable you to speak. That is also a good option. If you put your hand up, I can enable you to speak. Our team can enable you to speak if you put your hand up. And also the other thing, of course, if you don't get the email or website, just go to any of your social media like Google and search for HLB Jim Roberts, search for service consulting. You'll be able to get all our contact details. So that will be okay. Okay, I don't see any hand up. Members, if you see a hand up and I've not seen, let me know. There is another question I think coming in. What are the kind of? There are two hands. Okay. Yes, please.
Yes, there is Stephen and also there is Joseph.
Okay, let me start with Joseph then. Thank you. I can allow you to speak. Joseph, go ahead and speak. You are enabled. Joseph, go ahead to speak. I've enabled both Joseph and Stephen, so whoever is ready can start and then the other can follow. Please enable your microphone.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for the presentations. My name is Joseph Omodi. I am the executive director for the Uganda Consumer Lenders Association. So I'm the seat of most of the microfinance institutions dealing in lending. I have two questions. Question number one is that most of the microfinance institutions that I oversee are still having limited resources. So the enforcing the internal control seems to be having demanding a huge expense of their side. And I wanted just to find from you what would be relatively cheaper means of enforcing internal controls business. That is question number one. Question number two is the artificial intelligence that seems to be taking the world over. What role do you think artificial intelligence can play in terms of helping microfinance institutions down to the best
Okay, thank you very much. Our experts, do you want to handle question by question?
Mustafa, you are speaking, but looks like you are not getting you. You seem to be.
Mustafa, can you enable your microphone?
Mustafa, we can't get. I see your mouth is moving, but we can't get you.
Let me check if it's it should be enabled. Mr. Strategy, is that the one? Allow mic. Okay. You can now enable your, please speak, Mustafa.
Okay, then is there any other more questions? Can we take one of Stephen so that we can respond to Mr. Joseph and also Stephen together with Fatima?
Okay. Okay.
So you on mute?
Sorry. So who else do you want me to enable? Who else do you want me to enable? I don't see the hands up.
Stephen.
Stephen is already enabled. Stephen is already enabled. Don't enable.
Okay, Stephen can come in.
Stephen, you can speak. Stephen, are you with us? Hello, Stephen? Your microphone is enabled. Can you speak, Stephen?
Doctor,
Yes.
also our on our side, there's also raised the hand.
Okay, yes, raise the hand. Okay. Okay, let me see. That is Mr. Strategy. Is that the one you are using?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. How come I don't see him, Mr. Strategy?
I've made him a presenter.
Okay, you have been made a presenter. Can you go ahead? Mustafa?
Yes. No. Thank you very much. And we are not for the fantastic insights. Somehow I went offline and that's why I was speaking. I don't know the question that have been asked that the choir were asking. What we know is that cybersecurity is an evolving threat, and increasingly it also requires the right skills at the board. I don't know how harmful is empowering directors of institutions to gain the skills to be able to ask the right questions to management but also it requires empowering executive, including the directors and the company secretaries, on writing reports that are relevant and create action that is required at the board level. Because we have reviewed, done body evaluation assessments, and we have looked at the kind of what papers submitted to the board and the briefing to the board of the security. So you find that these briefings are very inadequate. So having security require fixing most of the other issues. As the representative has demonstrated, you cannot only rely on, for example, the IT, because cybersecurity is not an IT problem, it's a business problem. If it is a business problem, it requires a 360 approach to managing it, from finance to marketing up to technology and the board. Why do we say marketing? We want to make sure that people appreciate that their maybe company details should not be used for social media accounts. Why? Because then they become part of the attack surface mapping, and you can use the use to compromise the system that they use to compromise. So these simple basics are very important, and they need more across. We have seen directors who have confidential sensitive information access their online system for both papers on the cloud using public Wi-Fi. So you are basically putting the entire compromise of it. It's just a focus on that particular company. The risk of being exploited, now imagine you are getting the population minutes of the board and all the discussions about the papers and things about the board of a given bank or organization or their company. Why? Because you just use an insecure network. It is like having the president or any senior public interest person move to school at night without any security guard. So when they put a ring of security around that, that's what we call a BPN, not a private network. Much as you're using a public road, you have another security profile of it, so that protects you. But now if the person identity is known and then it's moving around at night, now imagine if, so for example, say 70 or Trump is just walking downtown, what is going to happen? So that's why you have to make a VPN of this called VPN so-called by putting that kind of thing. So thank you very much, and look forward to more conversations. We have other talks we could give, which are going to give information to staff of Uganda, ongoing monthly security briefings, which give state of cybersecurity on a monthly basis. Because at our lab, as Daniel rightly showed you, we are always collecting data on a daily basis, looking at the evolving threat landscape. And our data collection is at country high level ISP, and not only in Uganda, but regionally, because this kind of public data which everybody can see, because that's how technology has been configured. If you are communicating here to abroad, you are using an IP address and internet protocol, there is a chain by which you are basically going. So we do paternalizing those kind of points or access points to be able to map the kind of traffic that is coming and the one which is bad or which is good. So the related to us, the thing happening in the partnership with Bank of Uganda, with a heightened state of awareness about practical. Because for us in Uganda, we want to, in our partnership with the HLB Jim Roberts, to collaborate better work democratize awareness of cybersecurity and want people to understand so that they don't spend too much money when they shouldn't. Because we have recorded instances where somebody has just done an audit or they have done an external security assessment, and then you find the what they took was one of the audit reports instead of the entire cybersecurity assessments. And so you find that they give the substandard work because the client themselves does not know what it looks like. So our ongoing training is to give you at least a minimum awareness. Now, we have done this presentation for free by just doing an assessment. Now, imagine if you tell us, okay, you come and do our organization and see how much you're exposed. So this means that you have got an understanding minimum what you would expect from that kind of external assessment. Now, what we have done is we have not proved expert because that is now a legal. Proving expert means that you give us a constitutional permission and we would like, for example, for private microfinance, where you have seen there is a lot of regulation that has exposed, they will exploit. They will exploit. For organizations like which my colleagues spoke to, as you saw, it is very important that now the AMTU in its own umbrella for the interest, because the discussion, because security is now more about proactive rather than reactive. And that's why even in the past, courts have been talking about oversight. No, courts are no longer doing oversight of anything. Courts today have to what we call foresight, because foresight is being proactive, not going try our sport and do postmortem. You have to anticipate and prevent, other than react and respond. Because reaction and respond causes a lot of educational loss, is very expensive, and causes people to slow. So, there are people that are not being flexible, just want to give the action and respond. I think it's something really thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mustafa. And also, I wanted to add that the same arrangements we're making with the Bank of Uganda, with the Uganda Bankers Association, we can still discuss with Jackie and the team at Association of Microfinance Institutions. We can also come up with some kind of regular briefings on the status of the industry, and then working with your members, we can help to really set up very good defenses so that your members are not so much exposed. This is something we are happy to do, but it's something we can discuss maybe after this meeting. We are open to collaboration, to partnerships, to working with your members to make sure we improve the landscape for cybersecurity and fraud awareness in this country. And of course, where your members need also detailed training, we have detailed programs for training on cybersecurity, so we can actually skill up. The more skilled the people manning the systems are, the better for all of us. Because when the thing hits, it hits all of us as a country or as a region. Thank you. I think I take it back to technical team. I think you have something you wanted to explain and answer.
Yes, I just wanted to add something.
Yes.
Which is more because you see, one of the biggest costs in the many financial and which is causing less competitiveness is the high cost of technology, but most importantly, the high cost of cybersecurity. So, what we can do is, in addition to the internal cybersecurity capabilities which are present, we can support by working with the existing investments to make them more effective. Because we are seeing people spending a lot of money based on what the data has recommended, and then you find that they think about it and find new movements instead of optimizing skill sets. And they end up spending too much money and becomes a burden and makes losses unnecessarily. So we can, one, be independent project implementation supervisor and foresight for the institutions to ensure that they will get value for money from the investment. And also ask the right questions from the vendors to ensure that they don't overprice. There's a thing we have seen is that we don't have good commercial lawyers, especially from internal institutional level, where the right very much services about business for enterprise IT. So we can also provide technical review of the commercial contracts to ensure that the ticket costs of the setup because of our expert services and remove that have a low cost of ownership of the system. For example, when it's a project install the system, you end up paying so much money every month, even when they are supposed to be a cost of the vendor. And so we can enable the contract, and then you are able to have more value savings and benefits. So that's like encouraging the vendor to do their work. For some organizations, we have found that the service provider of giving you maybe fiber or data is delivering maybe 100% less of what is in the service. But because the company does not have the capability to monitor usage and how much the data is supplied, they end up paying 100%. So we can be able to give you the reports that are able to make sure that the service provider delivers as is promised. So these are just the basic benefits from engaging with an independent cybersecurity support, which our partnership with the HLB Jim Roberts and Service for Service brings directly to AFU, and also AFU adds that to the industry, because the goal is no longer seen as a cost center, but a value enabler where the managed risk is preserved. But most importantly, for the losses that have happened in banking, one of the biggest challenges has been there is one point of failure. Maybe the IT team internally and the service provider knows that the IT and everything is backed either at the head office or at another site offsite or at the other side which they have access to. So what we have always encouraged organizations to do are under our support. We also, when we are looking at logs in systems, the Active Directory logs, network server network devices logs, and of course application server logs, we keep them independently on another offsite in real time. So meaning that even IT or the certificate or any vendor doesn't have access. So in case of an incident, even if they don't cover their tracks by reaching them, there is another point of view where we give you assurance that we will give you what exactly happened in your environment. Because even if you take the lead, you will be able to access more and back to them very well. And for the institutions where we have done this, even IT loss, there have been significant reduction in even losses and attempts by insiders and not outsiders. Remember, almost 70% where losses have taken place and money has been lost in the institution, and insiders have been involved. And that clarity of awareness that there is an independent firm which is local that is going to manage this, it's sort of because we have seen investigators from abroad, for example, they never solve the problem in Uganda. And that means that you just spend that money to go to insurance company to say they are investigated. But that increases your premium to the next, which is also counterproductive. So if you want a solution, you want to confirm that you have a solution and you can be able to give better value to customers. In actually what my colleagues have spoken to, demonstrating that we have capability. And I would like to challenge any of the vendors that is going to come and give the services. So just make a report like this or bring an assessment and see how much they can do. Because that's the easiest way to monitor capability. Otherwise, somebody will say, you must ask you for money, then they go abroad, they look for the vendor, so you expose a lot of your internal capabilities and the resources to foreigners who do not know. And you obviously cannot put your security to people who are not regulated within the industry to operate. And these have been the biggest areas of exposure. So even as AFU, in your own good training and briefings, you want to have people who have a track record, but also people who have local expertise. Because you don't want the USA government to encourage the entrepreneurs to get solutions locally. For example, when I went to do some work in South Africa, they required me to have a local company registered in South Africa to be able to provide service with it. Not a service company that can provide their service. They need to, in case of whatever problem they have, the person they can sue under the local laws. But it is in Uganda where you have to enable have to those abroad in India, yes, the company, particularly not registered in Uganda, and to begin exposing the national resources. That is a breach of the Uganda Privacy Application Law. That is a breach of government security for the people of Uganda. It is because the laws of these companies are not governing them. So, through deliberate non-compliance and somehow the thing exploded. The same thing, you cannot put Kenya now as a Ugandan firm and be providing services to any institution unless you have the local government working with you. But in Uganda, if somebody from Kenya comes in Uganda, you don't have a company registered under law, the company to operate or you to regulated, and you give them unnecessarily exposure. I want you to know that non-disclosures do not make sense if the laws under which those non-disclosures is not under the control. And the person is going to be outside. So that will require some foreign and so many things, and you have the reputation to protect, you don't know that they will be breached. So this conversation should with them. If you are setting up a shop, we support you to set up a shop, we buy the infrastructure, so that you have total ownership from the beginning. Other than getting a vendor, set up things which you don't know, even if you get them in report, you cannot know. So you end up just thinking, relying on them all the time, as small as you rely on them, even when you forget to put on the power, you call them, which is a bleeding for the organization. People work like a notice, but the man doesn't come. It goes to the guys who are in the because they know that's how they do it. I think so.
Thank you so much. And also, I want to mention to members that the reason why HLB Jim Roberts came together with Summit Consulting is we wanted to bring. Hey. Sorry, I forgot to put it back. Sorry. Yeah, so I was saying that what Mustafa just said really underscores the reason why we went into a partnership, because HLB Jim Roberts, as you know, is an audit firm. We have very big strengths in terms of investigations, audits, forensics, and so forth. But then we knew that we needed a partner. We need a partner who is very, very detailed in terms of cyber and other detailed IT part of the work. And risk management. We haven't mentioned it, but Summit Consulting has developed a risk management application which can be used by organizations here. So we bring these capabilities together so that you don't only have competent auditors, but you also have competent experts in the area of cybersecurity and fraud awareness. So we believe that when we work together, Amphi, we can be able to handhold you and your members and make sure that we make the landscape of microfinance institutions extremely secure. And of course, a few months ago, we launched a report on the ISO 360, which I see already on the screen. I'm sure the experts will talk about it. And basically, this report was talking about the tool that we have to give you a defense system, which can be able to deter and detect and destroy any attacks that might be directed towards the organization. So I think at that point I will take it back to the experts. If there are other comments you have picked in the audience and there's something else you'd like to add, because I see a new slide on the screen. Back to you, Godfrey and Daniel.
Thank you. Now, we are looking at the before we describe what's on the screen. First, answer the questions. There is Mr. Joseph who asks two questions. One is, how do you come up with practical and affordable solutions for cyber security? Then the second one is, what role does artificial intelligence play in safeguarding micro finance institution? So now, affordable and cyber security, I know it is the biggest challenge that most organizations find. That is the biggest model they are trying to fix within their financial data and records. So, cyber security has become a common, if I can call it that, because it has always been an IT problem. We relate it to IT, that is their problem, they fix those systems, it's up to them. Now, when it's a branch of all money story comes in, we mostly see IT people are being fired. And then the data is lost, the organization doesn't even have operational data anymore. It causes much more confusion nowadays than it used to be just being stored. So since cybersecurity is related to business challenge, the business level challenge, what we do is look at the screen to answer the question of affordability. What is affordable for the right microfinance? Probably not affordable for, let's say what is affordable for, let's say, centenary bank is not the same thing affordable for a smaller microfinance. So what we usually do is we have a value proposition which goes, we do what we call posture assessment and baseline. So what happens is that when you baseline, you go and understand what identity and access systems you have, how you set up, what are the security, performance and function areas, as well as monitoring gaps that you have to look at. Then there's what's called attack path, like the path the attack is going to take to cause damage in the systems. So once we do that baseline, then from there you determine what is available for you, because you now know where the areas of impact are, how to prioritize your spending. So it is not a direct answer, because most people want to hear that you go and buy product X, product Y, but it is very, very dependent. Because cybersecurity, yes, if you don't understand how to leverage much of the expertise, for example, that is available to you, you will end up spending much of the money. That's why most people don't want and see it as a cost head. Because, for example, if you decide to go for an NVIDIA endpoint detection system, it is going to cost you per device. If you have 1,000 devices, you are probably financially not better off buying 1,000 endpoints, because not all of them are. So that's why doing the best like understanding where are the critical assets, where are the crown jewels, where is my data store, how do I need to protect it, and how is it affected. It allows you to determine why you need a firewall, why you need an detection and response system, why you need a data loss and prevention capability. Then that's what you need to do the things at the cost area. Also, the return on investment in cyber-related, cyber-security-related capability is not going to directly reflect on your returns, but it will reflect on the efficiency of how you operate as an organization. It changes that way. So that's why you need to first baseline your environment and understand where is your center of gravity in terms of operations, in terms of security hotspots, in terms of attack path, in terms of then you know that if I need identity and access, this is how I'm going to secure it. I have so many web applications that I need to put under a single sign-on. So buying the single sign-on solution becomes available. But then from there you have to determine, do I want to buy, do I want to build, buy versus build. For us, we are researchers and we are an original bunch, so we prefer both. We like to build capability and we like to buy where it is necessary to buy. So building sometimes takes that you take off open source projects and adapt them to a given environment. Though most organizations here have a very negative connotation about open source software, which is unfortunately a sad reality. But not much, almost 100% of the closed source proprietary software that you buy comes out of open source software, which you did not. Much of them come from open source, and then if someone puts in more effort, that's when they charge you to buy it, because they put in the development effort to make it work. So what we usually do, we do a buy versus build. There are different solutions, as I said, each organization is very different. What the association here Amfield has and needs is different from what Prime Microfinance needs, and is different from what Sentinel Bank needs, because they have different visions, they have different mission statements. All of these have different, but the whole thing is usually do what's called that assessment, the right path of affordability. So affordability is independent. You want to buy it, you want to build it. Build it, you need expertise. Buying, you still need expertise, but to a lesser degree, because there's a lot of groundwork that has been done. So I hope that answers your question. The first one now, artificial intelligence is an overlooked term. I think all of you have heard about it. Every product you see now, at least somewhere, they always have artificial intelligence. But in reality, cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, there are few areas you can use artificial intelligence, but that requires you to have maturity at a certain level. because cybersecurity is an advanced field of technology. It requires you to understand your network very well, understand your data, because much of what it does is to make it has been made more affordable because of a lot of data that is available, generated, as well as the computing power. So in areas like cybersecurity and AI becoming much better, especially for microfinance institutions, is usually going to be monitoring, potential monitoring, whereby you have a lot of data. You have data from active directory, you have data from new firewalls, you have data from your third party. Those who might collect them, the third party, the suppliers, they have their own system. They should be giving you logs. They are not just go back and ask them to give you the logs so that you can monitor them, see them independently. So if you have data from all those sources and you don't have people to do your work, you can set up machine learning systems that help you to understand that data better, because machine learning is a subsection of artificial intelligence. So it's where much of cybersecurity goes. So instead of having in focused people to look at one looks at network logs, you can create what's called the security data lake. And then you can correlate all these events through machine learning, and then have the effective investigation that drives any much better times outcomes. From our practicality, that's the most impactful area. The rest is mostly you're going to find that it is 90% marketing and 10% effective. So it is usually up to after a baseline you know what to do, because this is where you have to apply artificial intelligence or machine learning as well. So there are certain areas that are hard to apply machine learning, but there are those which are easy to apply. So it will help you machine learn to understand the security data that you have at scale, because if you have to look at network traffic every day, a minimum organization you could say that has around 20 can generate almost 2 TB network traffic per day. That's a lot of data for one person to go through, especially if that same person is the guy who does active directory, or the guy who does active directory is the one who does the firewall. So it becomes like a bonus. So implementing effective machine learning to look at your security data lake, but you first need to have the security data lake in place. That's why I said it requires you to have maturity in order to integrate artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I hope that answered your question. Then I saw in the chat box, I think it was Fatima who said, let me see here.
We can now make that one the last question because already midday, and we prefer keeping time and then have continuous engagement over the month.
Okay, let me answer one which I saw from Stephen. I think it has more criticality. Fatima will allow me to answer only in 30 words.
Okay.
So, Stephen says most of us rely on third party, especially for banking and mobile banking. That could be possible measures to avoid compromisation, and yet we need to aggregate and communicate systems to communicate. Now, the same thing that is on your screen, you have to decide. Even when I think the CEO talked about it when he said you need to review your contracts that you make with your third-party technology providers. For a case, I know you have serious issues with fintechs. Fintechs, all of you going to be having focus on the function, the future, and you just want to hit the market. And then you forget cybersecurity. Most fintechs have a plan security assessment. They have their governance practices, they need much of their systems exposed, and then when you come to integrate with them and they get compromised, they don't want to take the blame for it. So you have to make sure that in whatever agreements passed that you do, because it starts from there, that governance of application security and acquisition starts from there. How you acquire software, it has to include supply chain security and third-party security. You have to make sure that you provide recent assessments, compliance, whatever they can provide to you that gives you assurance that you're going to bring them and integrated part of your network. You make sure that this happens. Then they have to show you their vigilance, how they manage cybersecurity. And then you have to discuss how you share the responsibility of cybersecurity. I can give you an example. For example, cloud providers. Every cloud provider has they are certified to provide such capabilities. For example, AWS, Amazon. They will tell you where their responsibility ends and where yours starts. So that when something happens within their area of responsibility, you have the reliability to undertake it. Now in case let's say the next period you have, you find that there is no clear path because everyone is a reliability. This one says something else. I think the supplier says something else. Because either the government had an issue on the vulnerability, they did not put it in the contract, so they will just add in security of God. So you have to make sure that before you acquire this system, so if you can go back and review them and put in the contract, whatever it costs you, that's the cost of security. Don't put it in the contract. Then the second thing, again, I'm going to send you to our value proposition on the screen, is you have to always make sure you assess. Software is accessible, systems are accessible, you will know the level of security. And once you feel it meets your acceptable risk profile, then you can accept to work, understand how to integrate these systems all together. So that's the part that you have to take. It's not that you have to test them away, but you have to compromise as well, and you have to meet some of the middleman. You have to do it legally and then practically, technically, by assessing. You need to have the capacity to assess them, because they need to have the willingness to be assessed, to understand that if I'm integrating my system to yours, I need this minimum level of security that I'm comfortable with because I can handle the risk up to that level. Then the third thing about that is that, especially for vendors who don't live in the country, let's say outside the country, it is a big point that we just dedicate to have an IT team to just manage the system. Let them manage the black box. The vendors that provide the systems, for example, you've seen the management systems which are even in the Netherlands and Australia. We've seen systems that are global, that are in India, what you need these people to bring that expertise to them. The CEO talked about, you see how they, and this goes to the association where they need to make this a mandatory thing. If someone is going to provide you a banking system, a mobile bank, and they have the development team, they need to bring the knowledge into the organization. So that you are not relegated to just managing the black box within the development, where the vendor will do much of the work and has all the expertise, while you are just logging in to check a few things and all that. It's a poor investment choice. You rather make them transfer the knowledge to you. Do service level agreements, level agreements, and all of those things all together. So that's the part that has to be taken. Now the last question. The last question is going to be, what are the kind of security controls against phishing attacks? So the two most effective as of now, I'm going to say is one that is inherent, which makes it is training. Training is a hit and miss, but it depends. Though someone who is trained has no research and understanding. So organizations should always strive to train their employees, and each level of the role requires a different training. The way we train IT people is not the way we train the operations people, it's not the way we train the medical people, all the CEOs and the board. So each level requires a different way of training. So you have to take that into consideration. And then the other one is integration. We will try to advise you to stop deploying systems that do not support multi-factor authentication because it's a critical thing. Modern compromises are very critical credentials. There are so many credentials that belong to all of you people from these organizations that are aligned with the internet. That anyone who can start getting to compromise with that. Even if you have the firewalls, even if you have the endpoint detection, someone is just going to log in as a normal third party credential or manager, and then all they do is they just do damage to you. So multi-factor authentication is a must. If you can't, then you need two-factor authentication, which is almost the same thing, just the different implementation. Then the modern applications, because now an average employee has to even use they have the mobile application on their phone, they have the internet application. The average person has around 3 or 4 applications. Even you yourself, you log in Facebook, you log in this website, you log in here, those are already so you are going to be forced mentally to use this one password to save time and to feel more convenient. Never have a mental joy. So what single sign-on does for organizations and enterprise applications, you put them under an identity platform that you create users and manage them in one place, and then you can assign them access to different applications. Even when you have a bridge, it's easy to just remote access in one place. That when you have to take places where you have to go and force the user to change the password every single time. So three levels of protection, training, knowledge factor authentication, and then single sign-on. So that encompasses fighting phishing and social media at large. So I think that's it. Probably one question that was not answered. It's about certifications for cloud security engineering, but this depends which cloud provider has their own certifications. So what you find in Microsoft is different from what you find. They are different and they have these very restricted, like you can dialogue further due to the impact of time. So I think that answers all of the questions, and we thank you for your time. We will be trying about my colleagues.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Our
And thanks very much.
Yes, go ahead, Mustafa. Go ahead.
No, you can come in, doctor.
Okay, thank you. Mustafa is out now. All right. Thank you. I don't know whether I still have Jackie. Jackie, are you there? I think she's not there. What about Robert? I saw Robert of Anfield. At some point I saw Robert. Okay, no worries, but all I can say is that thank you. It has been a very, very engaging discussion. Thank you for the very many questions, very many comments that came through. We thank you for your participation. We are willing to work with you. We are ready to work with you. Let's explore areas of collaboration. And for the specific microfinance institutions, you can reach out to us. I had given our contacts on the chat. We are going to be sharing our profiles with you through the email. We will share this presentation, the slides, we will share the recording, and our offices are open. Either you come to HLB Jim Roberts at Uganda Road, just next to the Chief Magistrate's Court, where the GT Bank is. And also you can go to Kinder Complex, where you get Summit Consulting. We are here to work with you. Maybe to invite you also, those who might have interest in NGOs, we will be having a similar conversation with the NGO forum next week on Thursday, and we'll be going through the details of the exposure of non-government organizations. If you're involved in any way with an NGO, we'll be sharing the recordings. You can be sharing the registration details, and the flyers will be shared with you on your email if you use for log onto this. So if you have interest in NGOs, I know most of us can be working, but also belong to a certain NGO. Please, you're welcome to join us on Thursday. We will be talking about cyber security for the NGOs. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. It has been a great experience interacting with you, and we wish you the very best. At HLB Jim Roberts and Summit Consulting available. We will continue to work with you in the next few months, few years,